Madison considers a German-style beer garden for Ulbrich, plus repairs have begun on a 128-year-old clock tower in Waterloo. That's up next. Your real estate news starts now. Thank you for watching your real estate news. I'm Stacy Hansen. Here are your headlines. Madison is considering a German-style beer garden for Ulbrich Park, according to the Cap Times. The proposal was submitted to the City Parks Commission by BKM Group, which hopes to open the beer garden next spring if the concept passes the requisite city committees. A rep of BKM Group said the Ulbrich Beer Garden would serve Wisconsin beers and locally sourced foods like brats and soft pretzels. Patrons would be encouraged to bring their own food as well. The group plans to renovate and work from the park's beach house and include an outdoor seating area of 250, according to Cap Times. Rutabaga Paddle Sports has also submitted a proposal to provide recreational rentals for the beer garden. If a liquor license is secured, the proposal would advance to the Board of Estimates and then the City Council, according to the Cap Times. Inpro, a global manufacturing company based in Muskego, Wisconsin, will be donating a custom-built tiny house to Occupy Madison this month. Inpro worked in conjunction with Utopian Villas, a Wisconsin firm that specializes in tiny house construction. Occupy Madison will in turn auction off the tiny house in May of 2017 as part of its annual plant sale. Occupy Madison plans to use the funds to expand its facility's kitchen and washrooms. The tiny house incorporates many Inpro products with sustainability features, including draperies, receptor and shower surround, and a shield shower curtain. It was originally built for Inpro's trade show booth at Greenbuild 2016 to demonstrate that tiny actions can create huge impact on the world. Occupy Madison board member Bruce Walbom says that organization was formed in response to homelessness in Madison, for which they have built tiny homes in a small village within the city. Workers are repairing the clock tower at the Waterloo Area Historical Society Museum. The brick on the tower, which was built in 1888, had been crumbling, according to the Wisconsin State Journal. A member of the Historical Society said it had been over a year since mortar and small pieces of brick were found at the base of the church's stone foundation and front stoop. Now a crew from Menominee Falls' Stats Restoration Engineering is working to repair the 128-year-old tower. According to the Historical Society, another $30,000 to $40,000 needs to be raised so that the remainder of the church's brick can be repaired. The restoration crew is using brick salvaged from old buildings that were likely made in either Watertown or Milwaukee more than 100 years ago, according to Madison.com. Don't go away. We'll have more real estate news right after the break. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Bill Quigley, he's branch manager at AmeriFirst Home Mortgage. Welcome back, Bill. Good to see you again.
Good to be here. Thank you.
So let's talk a little bit about interest rates and the election. I hear there's a lot of movement. What's going on?
There was a lot of movement after the presidential election under speculation. A lot of this is strictly emotional, that there's going to be a lot of economic growth under the new administration. There again, a lot of this is emotional. It's a little bit of a knee-jerk reaction. The markets have calmed down and we're getting back some of the losses that we have. What the markets are anticipating is there will be economic growth going into the new year with the new administration. Economic growth causes inflation. Inflation is bad for mortgage-backed securities and bonds, so investors sell them, and when they sell them, interest rates go up. There again, we're going to gain back some of the losses we've had since the election. The Federal Reserve is more than likely going to increase the discount rate in December. Many people believe that, oh, that's going to increase mortgage rates, but it won't. That will help mortgage rates go down a little bit more. So going into the New Year's, we'll be in great shape for interest rates, and I'll keep you posted on how we're doing.
Great. That's good news, at least, that we're looking good on interest rates. Now, I'm also hearing about escrow holdback. What is this?
Escrow holdbacks are very rare in the lending and real estate industry today. Most lenders cannot do them, we can. As an example, we had a recent purchase transaction where the home needed some repairs. The seller did not want to do the repairs. They didn't want to put out any money until they knew the buyer was purchasing the home. The buyer didn't want to put any money until they knew they owned the home. So a little bit of a conflict. What we recommended is the seller agreed to pay for the repairs after closing. We close on the sale of the home. We hold a certain amount of money in escrow to do the repairs. The repairs are done after the completion of the transaction. The buyer moves in, the repairs were done, the contractor is paid, everybody's happy. Very few lenders will do this. This helps a lot of transactions close where if the home does need repairs, if they can't close on it due to the repair issue, we can close on it with the escrow holdback.
It's great to know that you guys can do that. Now, you're also helping homebuyers purchase homes utilizing a renovation financing. So explain to us how that works.
The renovation financing program is going great. We help people purchase homes at great prices that are in good neighborhoods, but the homes need work. As an example, we have a couple purchasing a home with a beautiful lot, a beautiful view. The home has a lot of character, but it needs work. It's very outdated, and it really isn't in a condition right now where the homeowner could even move in. But they're going to purchase the home with one loan. They'll purchase the home. We add into that monies to renovate and remodel the home. So they'll buy it, renovate it, move in, all with one loan. Very streamlined transaction. When they're done, they'll have a beautiful home, plenty of equity, and very happy homeowners.
Good news for those homeowners. Well, thanks so much, Bill.
Great to be here. Thank you. Take care.
Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Josh Lovick of Josh Lovick and Associates. Welcome back, Josh. Thanks for coming on the show today.
Hey, thanks,
So
Stacey.
give us a rundown of what's going on in real estate this month.
Well, this month is November, and typically this time of the year, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. So now's the time I kind of look back and reflect on how grateful I am for just our past clients, current clients, and future clients, so that we were able to help. Last year, 2015, we were able to help actually 48 people with their move, and this year I'm happy to say that we're actually going to probably surpass that number a little bit. So just very grateful for the people we're able to help and serve.
Well, congratulations on a great year so far, Josh. So are there any clients that have stood out more than others?
We've had a few recent successes. So you may recall from last month, we had a couple new listings. One of them, 2705 Moland, had an accepted offer within a week. Similar story at the 4301 Barbie Lane, also kind of multiple offers, had an accepted offer within a week. Some of the other favorite clients, I don't know, I'm a family man, so I have a wife and 3 kids, so I've enjoyed the opportunity to work with some other families and couples that have either been upgrading their home, moving from their smaller home to a larger one, or downsizing. A couple that come to mind are like Andrew and Hita. They had a downtown condo that they lived in, and then they bought a beautiful home over on the east side of Madison, so they were a lot of fun to work with. Dave and Heather were another couple that we had a lot of fun working with. They actually have twins, which my family, we also have twins, so we have that neat kind of commonality there as well. But they're all good clients, so that's for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it's hard to pick, just even a couple. Well, thanks for sharing those stories with us today.
Yeah.
What else is happening in real estate from your perspective?
Yeah, well, as you can imagine, we're coming up on winter, and our market is very seasonal. As you can imagine, most people don't want to move during the snowy times of the year. But if you think about it, there are still sales that happen. So like June, for example, there's just over 1,100 sales this year, compared to January this year where there were just under 350. So
wow.
There's still going to be some people that are still going to move in December, January, February, that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's definitely a difference there, but it's true. People are still moving in those winter months. It seems that some people are still buying.
Yeah, absolutely. I actually have a few clients right now that are, they're renting, or they're in kind of some flexible lease terms. With the really low inventory we're having right now, there's just, they're renting and trying to wait and find that perfect home that they can get. Plus, we just had an election for our president and everything else, so there's a little bit of uncertainty in the future, but interest rates right now are still really good, but who knows what they may be down the road. So there's still, I think there's still some people out looking, just trying to wait and try to find that right opportunity.
That makes sense. Any last things you'd like to share with us today?
The last thing I might mention is any of you that are thinking of either building or possibly remodeling in the future, we are going to be a part of the Madison Area Builders Association event coming up in January 27th through the 29th. It's called the Dream Home Showcase event. So we'll have a booth there, and be happy to talk to you or anybody you know about building and what that might mean, and different options out there.
Definitely check that out. Well, thanks so much, Josh.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Doug Cooper with J&K Security Solutions. Welcome, Doug. Thanks for coming on the show today. So let's just start with the basics. What should somebody look for in a security company?
I would recommend they look for a local company, somebody that has ties to the community. From a monitoring standpoint, company that has a UL listed central station. Ownership on board in the office daily, I think, is a good thing, so they can touch base with those folks if they have any issues. But local company is where I would direct somebody.
And that sounds like a lot of the qualities that J&K Security Solutions has, wouldn't you say?
I would agree. We've been in town here roughly 29 years, going on 30, all on Park Street, a couple different locations, but as we've grown throughout the years, we've moved down the road.
And why would you say that somebody should go ahead and do this and have their alarm monitored?
Well, notification is the primary reason. You want to be notified if something goes off at your house or an event is taking place, whether it be a break-in or fire related or life safety related. So those types of notifications are what I would recommend and why you should have your system monitored.
Now, you offer too some specialty features with your monitored security systems. Could you go into those a little bit?
Sure. Aside from your standard door, window, motion detection monitoring, we offer fire protection, heat protection, water protection. And when you get to the motion detection, we even offer a type of product that is pet immune, so pets of certain weights can move throughout the home without setting off the alarm. In addition to all of that, you can have cell phone connectivity to where you have keypad functionality right from your cell phone.
That's cool that you can offer that, and that pet feature is a neat one too. What would you say then makes J&K unique?
Well, again, we've been on Park Street for 29 years. We're locally owned and operated. Our owners are there every day. We give back to the community. We're invested in our community through organizations like Domestic Abuse Days, Coaches for Cancer, and organizations like that.
Yeah, a great company to work for and work with. Well, thanks so much, Doug, for stopping by today.
Thank you.
Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Dale Prisk. He's a loan officer with Pacific Union Financial. Welcome, Dale. Good to have you on the show today. So tell us a little bit about what types of loan options you offer there at Pacific Union.
Yeah, so at Pacific Union, I mean, we really do it all. We're essentially a full-service lender, so we do all the traditional conventional loans as low as 3% down. We do jumbo loans, VA for veterans, USDA, and a lot of FHA loans too. So really, we kind of do the full spectrum of all different types of loans out there.
So you offer tons of different types of loans. What would you say is your personal favorite for working with people?
Yeah, so I mean, my favorite by far and away are the VA home loans. We have a really, really simple process to get those done. I know a lot of lenders struggle with the complexities of a VA loan because they're just, either they don't do enough of them to really know how they work, or they're just a little bit more difficult than a traditional cookie cutter loan where the borrower has 20% down and goes for a conventional loan. So I like those loans a lot. I do a ton of them, and we do them really well.
And it's good to help those people too. What would you say Pacific Union does that makes them stand out from the competition? Because there's a lot of lenders out there.
Yeah, there's a ton of lenders out there. And one of the big things with us that really sets us apart are we have some pretty innovative ways to help people get into homes. So we're not focusing as much on the negatives that they have, so much as how do we get this loan to work. So when you take that approach and you combine it with an unwavering amount of customer service, that really seals the deal and gets a lot of loans done for us.
So kind of along those lines, what would you say to clients that maybe have been turned down by other lenders?
I would say don't panic. That's probably the first thing that I would say. A lot of lenders are not set up to facilitate these loans that we do all day, every day. So they have a loan or have a situation that doesn't necessarily fit into the cookie cutter box of perfect credit, 20% down. And when they don't have that, they don't really know the ins and outs of all these other different programs. With us, because we're a direct seller servicer of all of our loan products and we're not a broker or a small bank, we actually have the availability to dive a little deeper, know these programs inside and out, and make sure that every single customer is in the best loan for them every single time.
That's a great way to do it. Thanks so much, Dale, for stopping by today.
Not a problem. Have a great day.
Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Rob Grethrer from Lake Point Realty. Welcome back, Rob. Good to see you again. So what's new in real estate this month in your world?
Busy as usual. I'm sure you hear that from other people, but it's fall coming into winter and things are still happening. There's still a lot of activity. I think that there's probably some people who are ready to make some purchases prior to the January changes that are going to take place. The interest rates are still good, I guess, but it sounds like there might be some changes on the horizon, and some people are a little bit nervous about what's coming.
So maybe another good reason to get that house on the market before the holidays here. So I know you like to talk about and highlight some different neighborhoods that you've been working in. So where have you been working lately?
Just recently, was doing some work in the Badger Rock neighborhood area. That's down over near Moreland and Badger Road. It's a great area. There's a lot of change taking place. Badger Rock School Neighborhood Center is fairly new. They've got some really good things going on there. That whole area is just kind of full of diverse houses, diverse people. Some older houses, some newer things. You go up the hill and you've got some kind of cool 70s houses, and then you go down Rimrock a little further and you actually hit the country pretty quick, and there's some newer subdivisions being put into place there, plus some new amenities, some things that are going in that are really, I think, improving the neighborhood.
It sounds like a pretty cool neighborhood to explore and maybe check out. So how about your plans for the end of the year? Are things kind of slowing down for you here?
The holidays coming, I think everybody's going to be busy in one way or the other. Like I said, real estate's still going well. We always plan some different events, and we'll probably be doing some special things for the holidays, and planning some kind of parties probably.
You parties? I can't believe it.
We'll see. It's a festive time of the year, and I hope that everybody's able to enjoy it as much as we try to.
Yeah, it definitely sounds good. Well, thanks so much, Rob, for stopping by again today. Always a pleasure to see you. Welcome back to the Real Estate News. I'm now with Bill Lockwood from Acquire Restoration. Welcome, Bill. Great to have you on the show. So give us a rundown of the services that you typically provide to realtors.
Well, usually when a commercial or a residential property is sold, there'll be an inspection done. And whenever there's an issue that might be discovered, that's where Acquire would come in and help alleviate those issues so that we can meet the closing date for the realtor.
Can you give us an example of some of those issues?
Sure. Quite often after an inspection, we'll find that there was mold discovered in the attic of a home. We can come in and make sure that it's properly removed, not affecting the other areas of the structure. It might have been due to improper ventilation or excessive moisture, whatever the reason would be, but we want to make sure that we remove it in a safe and effective manner.
I imagine a lot of different things come into play with this. What are some of the things that you have to consider when a realtor calls you with one of these issues?
Well, the big thing with realtors is that they deal on a deadline and a closing date. And so when we get called in, we operate with kind of a firehouse mentality, a sense of urgency, if you will, to make sure that we can get in and get what's done to address their issues in a timely fashion so that they can stay on schedule for the closing dates.
And it's great that you're able to kind of keep up with their schedule too. What are some of the other benefits that you can offer to realtors?
Well, the fact that we're an emergency company, so we're available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. When it comes to other areas, you might run into things like flooring issues, and knowing that we have proper certified technicians, people that have gone for formal training, you know that somebody's going to be out there to do the job for you that has been properly trained to execute the issues.
And I know that you guys over there are really big into training, and you're really on top of your game over there. So you know that you're getting an expert when you go to Acquire Restoration. Now, how large of an area do you provide services to? Is it just kind of the Madison area, or how far do you go?
Well, actually, we're one of the largest restoration companies in the state of Wisconsin. Jeff Edmonds, our owner, he started the company in Oshkosh, Wisconsin 10 years ago. And since that point in time, he opened our Madison office, which has been here for 5 years. We also have an office in Kaukauna, Wisconsin, and we just recently opened an office in Waterloo, Iowa. This gives us a tremendous market coverage advantage over our competition.
So there's really a large area that people can utilize you for. Now, how do people get in touch with you if they're interested?
Well, I mean, they can see us at acquirerestoration.com. They can call us up. We're right there in the book. You can find us on Facebook, on LinkedIn. We have a Twitter account. There's a good number of ways. We're not hard to find, and certainly we want to make sure people know that we're large enough to serve you, and we're still small enough to care.
Great. Thanks so much for stopping by. It was wonderful to meet you, Bill.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Special thanks to our guests for stopping by today, and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. Be sure to join us again next week. I'm Stacy Hansen for the Real Estate News, making a positive impact and leading the real estate market.